This is powerful stuff, guys, as ever. And so strap yourselves in. I'm going to show you it now and demonstrate exactly why it's such a good stat to use. We are about to start the new year off with a bang here at Betfair Trading Community. You've probably seen in the title, that's probably what's attracted you to the video. We have just launched XG on our stats software. Adam has been hard at work. You guys asked for it. Again, we have delivered it. We're so pleased to have done this for you guys. You can now use XG, expected goals, in your strategies. You can use it when creating strategies, you can use it to save your strategies, and you can use it to give you selections where the XG is the amount you want it to be. Now, you may not know what XG is, so I'll just do a quick explanation for those who don't. XG is expected goals. It's a statistic that's calculated, that's formulated to essentially tell you how many goals a team should have scored in the match they've just played. Now, this is important. You can't know the XG of a match before the match takes place. The XG is actually a stat that comes about at full time. And you will often see it, say, on Match of the Day when you're watching, and it will tell you at the bottom of the screen during the interviews after the game, oh, Liverpool XG 1.5, Man United XG 0.41. And that will tell you that Liverpool were expected to score 1.5 goals and Man United were expected to score 0.41. Again, this is a statistic. So if you rounded those up and down, you might say, well, Liverpool should have scored 2 and Man United shouldn't have scored. But the full-time result often will not reflect that. This stat is just telling you what should have happened based on things like possession, attacks, dangerous attacks, and chances created, and the power of the chances created. Remember, a shot on target can be very different to another shot on target. When one is a shot on target where it's a world-class save, and the other one was just a dribble, almost like a back pass to a keeper. So what XG does is it calculates the efficiency of that chance to show exactly how good that chance is. So let me talk about the actual features we have. So the key points here are that XG is an average over the last X amount of games. So whether you use 5, 10 or 20 in your scope, that's how many games XG stats will use to calculate the stat. Now, remember, this isn't going to be on every single league. XG isn't on the really small leagues. This will just be on the major leagues. As ever, like with anything, you can do home XG, you could look at away XG, or you could look at overall, you could look at both. So we've got home, away, and overall here. We've also got halftime XG, which is huge. I didn't even know this existed before Adam dropped it. What a stat to drop. You can even know the halftime XG of teams now and use that for your filters. We've obviously got full-time XG to go along with that. You can compare opposition and league and country averages. Again, I know a lot of you guys like to do that. And it's important to compare opposition because, your XG against, let's say you're playing Luton, is probably going to be a lot higher than your XG against, say, Man City, for example. Okay, so just looking at a shot here, going back to this screenshot, you can see the XG here for full time is 1.8. And the first half XG prediction is 0.74 and the half two is 1.06. Now that will tell you in the last however many games your scope's up for, so let's say 10 matches in this example, in the last 10 games, the full-time would have expected to have 1.8 goals. So that's a really good stat for us to know because we go, well, then unders might be a good shout here. But yeah, under 2.5 obviously. So that's something you could look at. Again, there's so many possibilities with using XG, and I know you guys are going to come up with and create some absolutely phenomenal things. I also want to show you how many types of XG stats you can use. So I've actually just brought this up in a filter, and as you can see, this is all of the XG. Now, notice that you're using an average for your main stat on XG. So when you go to create a stat, you'll want to use average. So let's go and do this now. Let's go and create a basic strategy using XG and see how it works. Okay, so here we are, the Betfair Trading Community football software homepage. What you're going to want to do here is you might want to look at the XG before you even put it into a filter. So I'm going to show you how to do that quickly. Again, remember that the key here is averages. Okay, so we're going to want averages to be selected here. And then if we click on the tick down menu, you're going to want attack stats. And then when you click attack stats, it actually tells you the XG. And here you go. Full-time XG is 1.57, half-time 0.65, and second half XG is 0.93. This is very easy to look at and see. Let's actually go and look at how we can put it into a filter now, because this is where the true power comes from. Let's go to create new filter. Now you can select home, away, or overall. I'm going to select overall. And then of course, remember, we want average. So the key thing with this video, really, with this video tutorial on XG, is that you're going to want average to look at XG. And then you select your stat. So obviously we're going to go for full-time XG here, but you could pick just half one or second half. Now, these could be really good. You might go, well, I want a first half goal strategy. Maybe I'll look at half one XG. Or maybe I want a second half goal strategy. I'm going to look at second half XG. That's really powerful stuff, as I said. So we're just selecting XG generally, and we'll go for greater than equal to 1.5. Let's see which games have an XG of 1.5 or above. So I clicked there. And then remember to add. And that's it. That's all we need to do here. So we could do restrict to current season, could exclude playoffs. We're looking at last 10 matches scope here. Let's just name it XG. I might have already called one that, so I'll just call it XG1 and save. And here you go. Here is the XG figures over 1.5. So games where you'd expect more than 1.5 goals. And these are all the games that are happening. But you can also see the XG from the last 10 games the two teams have played. MacArthur FC versus Western United is 3.38. So that's interesting. We go, well, we definitely can expect goals there. I mean, it's the Australia A-League. Of course we can expect goals there. But it's interesting because you can go down this list and go, wow, Catanzaro is only 1.95. You know, let's look at that. Maybe that's an unders one we look at for unders. Now, again, with anything, using XG, whatever you're using, make sure you test. So when you come up with your hypothesis and go, this is how I want to use XG, test that strategy. See if it works first, okay? It might not work. In fact, it might do the opposite. Well, if it does, you might be able to do the opposite and make some money doing the opposite, as I always say. But yeah, it's important to know that you want to test this with anything. So you can just export this data as ever. So just click export and a lovely little Excel file will pop up. And you just open the Excel file here. And I'll bring that over to the screen here. And your criteria one value is your XG. As we know, we've only got one criteria, and that's the criteria. And you can see we've got this all imported straight into a spreadsheet right now. So there you go. They are the selections that would have come up if you're looking for XG over 1.5. Now, obviously, you can do what you want. You can test what you want. I'm really excited to see what you guys come up with because you always come up with really exciting stuff. I have a really good write-up on this that's well worth a read. So if you want the write-up, just say XG in the comments and I will actually send you a link to that blog post because, again, it's a really good read. It's obviously more in-depth than a YouTube video, but well worth watching. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've enjoyed the video, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe. It always really helps us. And it helps you to get the videos straight away. You don't want to miss out on a feature like this, right? You guys asked for it. We've given it to you. Have a great week. Most importantly, hope you make some money trading on Betfair.